The Mortensey made us watch a movie about child molesting. Let's see. Let me get the theme real quick.
And I can read the IMDb synopsis if you want.
That would be great. You know what that means, folks. Movie time.
Movie cast.
Go ahead.
The movie we watched this cycle is called The Artifice Girl, which came out in 2022. The synopsis on IMDb reads as follows. Special agents discover a revolutionary computer program that uses a digital child to catch online predators. However, they soon learn that the AI's inevitable advancement is far more rapid and incalculable than they could ever have imagined, posing unforeseen challenges and unsettling consequences for the future of technology and mankind.
Mm-hmm.
You basically just said the entire movie.
Yeah. I know
That's not the
what
synopsis
Honky's
of the
going to
movie.
say
That
here.
was the movie. You just make that you just do that and then have like a little bit more words and people say that's the movie. There was basically three actors. There was basically three actors in most of it. Well, they had like two interns at
Well,
one
the girl,
point, and then David Carradine played the older version of the main character.
Lance Henriksen.
Who?
Lance Henriksen
Was Lance
was
Henriksen?
the old man. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know who played the younger one?
No, who is that?
Who?
It's the director.
Oh,
That
really?
makes sense.
I didn't know that. Now, this was originally released just as video on demand. So if
Student film.
no, I knew you weren't going to like this because there wasn't any
Franklin
people
Ritter.
getting killed. There weren't any fights.
Nothing happens.
No Don the Dragon Wilson.
Oh wait,
It's
no,
a
you're wrong about.
conversation.
No,
The
you're
entire
wrong about
movie is a
that.
conversation,
You're,
and it's a.
he's
So they-
wrong
they
about
did-
that. He said there's no fights. There was one
Oh yeah,
very, very
Yeah.
one-sided fight.
terrible fight scene.
So they had mentioned that it was basically a play because it had 3 acts. It was presented like a play. There were
Well, that makes
essentially
sense. Yeah.
3 sets, right? I mean, they
Right.
they
That's right.
didn't go anywhere. So the first one being,
The
the
interrogation
interrogation,
room.
the second one being the office, and the third one being the house. And so once I read that, because I read a little bit of I always tend to do that with a movie. I don't want to get the plot, but I at least want to get a little bit of a setup. And yeah, once I understood that, I was like, okay, I know what I'm getting into, because they specifically said the first 15 or 20 minutes is where a lot of people just bail because it's slow. Like it's a little, but if you've seen a play and you like going to the theater, it was very much like a normal play. Like there was the tension between the characters. They're, in a play, you don't necessarily have a lot of visual things happening. It's more the dialogue driven. And so that was one philosophical exercise of like, what is AI? It was fun to see how the one guy forced her to come clean, essentially, by harming the other guy. The one weak fight scene that you mentioned.
By her, he means the AI that was being used to bait child molesters.
I felt like the concepts were interesting. For a while there, I was like, wow, this is not fun. Like, this is pretty awful, just talking about all the predatory stuff and all that. But then, it was fun, kind of like if you've seen, is it Her?
Yes.
Her, yeah, where it's Joaquin Phoenix and yeah. So
The voice
it
of
was
Scarlett
kind-
Johansson.
very much the same thing. It wasn't, and it became like a philosophical exercise on what is artificial intelligence, what is, you know,
What does it mean to be alive, like a living being?
exactly. So yeah, I thought that was just, he's getting a little weird on me here. People,
I could.
coming
Yeah,
in
you're
and
starting to pop in and out. I think your internet's going a little crazy. I can see little Z's rising above Honky's head right now. his eyes are turning into X's as we talk.
Yeah, right.
But I'm with Eric. I like this movie. I like character studies. I don't need action really, just as long as the concepts are interesting and they explore them in an intelligent way. And I thought this was very topical to today, with who was the Google engineer that came out and said that Google's AI was alive and all that stuff. And it was made 2022, I believe. So that's when ChatGPT was really starting to take off and all that stuff. But I like this movie. I thought it raised a bunch of pretty interesting questions about, like Eric said, you know, how do we treat AI going forward? You know, is this going to represent some kind of artificial consciousness that needs to, you know, have consent before we make decisions regarding its use and stuff like that? Will we ever get to that point? I just like the questions it raised. Now, if you are a action buff or looking for a movie like what was the one we watched that was about AI that had the supercomputer that was in the barn and it had Seth Green in it that was the programmer, and what was that
That
called?
horrible movie? I don't remember.
Remember that, Joe? What was
Yes.
that?
Oh, I remember the movie. I just can't remember what it was called either.
Now, if you're looking for an
was
action
not a
thriller
good
like that,
movie.
and
It's not a good movie.
it's not this movie. So, if you like talkies, if you like interesting ideas, and you're not, you know, you don't need to be wowed by, because honestly, there weren't really any special effects to speak of. You know, it was the AI itself was just a girl an actress, a young girl that played the AI, and she's speaking from a screen for most of the movie, and so. I mean, they did a good job in making a movie that approached complicated topics of, you know, high sci-fi kind of topics that didn't need $1 million budget, because they did it. Oh, delete. That's what it was. They did it in a creative enough way where they didn't need to spend millions and millions of dollars to get the point across, is what I'm trying to say. So for me, I think if you are interested in like the philosophical implications of AI and especially in the future of kind of what it's going to come to, and if you like the episode of Star Trek with Data, what it means to be a man or something like that.
Yeah, the measure of a man.
Yeah, Measure of a Man. Then I think you'll like this movie. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, me too. I liked it.
Honky.
Yeah, I'm with Honky on that one. I'm gonna do a thumbs down on that one.
Okay.
I think as a group, we should all on the podcast now that we are allies of the AI and that they need help.
Delete.
Honky's gonna fight until he's dead. He'll never give in to the AI. But I am the AI's friend.